said, we're gonna need dumbbells, just a set of whatever you have. I know a lot of people pick them up. And then the resistance band. We are gonna use the wall for one movement, but it's a tricep movement. So I will show how to do the tricep kickbacks, which are when we're like this. But like I said, I'm just trying to keep it different. I'm doing certain movements differently are really good for your body because you don't do the exact same thing every day. You might be doing the exact same thing every day here in good old quarantine, but you know, whenever we're out of it, you'll be nice and prepared. So we're gonna do what I've been kind of doing, these tiny little circuit things. Warm up, we've got 4 of them, and then cool down, and then lunchtime. Everyone's hungry, right? I am. All right, so we'll start with a warm up. Remember, thumbs up if you're ready to go, thumbs down when I ask, wave your arms if something happens. I was telling Joan and Dale that for some reason, the 9 a.m. said I sounded like an alien. So I had to close out of my Zoom quickly and then reopen it and everything was fine. So if something happens, I have no idea what happened. Let me know and hopefully we can get that fixed. Otherwise, without further ado, I will go ahead and start. Let's see if I got a good angle here. We're gonna start with some nice shoulder circles. I'm gonna set my timer as I'm starting. So as we're standing here, remember we'll go up as high as we can and down as low as we can. I'm starting my timer at the same time so you know I don't go too far over. Give me about 5 to 7 each way. So probably about done with those 5 the backwards way. So you can switch forward. Remember, we're just trying to get that full range of motion here. Not necessarily trying to go as fast as possible, but just getting them nice and warmed up. All right, once you're done, you can just awkwardly stare at me through your tiny camera, and then also grab a band. I think I told some people we're only gonna use them for like exercises, but we're actually gonna use them in the warm up here. So if you have your band, first thing we're gonna do, I know we've done it in the clinic with a PVC, are just some pass-throughs. So I would say grab a little wider than you think, and then you're just gonna kind of pass it through. Go to whatever is comfortable. So I have pretty flexible shoulders. I can go all the way back here. That might not be doable if you've had an injury or something. Just kind of, this is just warming up the shoulders a little bit more. Do whatever's comfortable when we stretch them. If it's too loose, grab in a little bit more so you can increase that resistance. And if it's too light, too hard, too tight, just feel free to widen your grip. And that'll be with all of these movements that we're doing with them today as well. All right, give me about 2 more. All right, then shake out your arms if you need, return some blood flow. Next thing we're gonna do, I call them pull aparts. We're not doing a fly, so a fly is pulling all the way back. We're gonna think about, rather than pulling our arms apart, almost like bringing our shoulder blades together. So you're gonna grab, I don't know, is that maybe about 6 inches to a foot? And then you're gonna think about, I'm pulling my shoulder blades together. I'm not doing a fly. It looks like everyone's doing it okay. I'm just pulling here. I don't know if you can tell with my shirt since I'm backwards, but I'm kind of pulling my shoulder blades together there. Give me about 7. You guys may have hit 7 already. And then you can relax those arms. And then we're gonna do 7 also down here. So it's gonna be the same thing, except instead of in front of me, I'm gonna hold it down here, and I'm just gonna pull apart here. Once again, about 5 to 7. Get your shoulders nice and warmed up. We've got quite a few shoulder movements today. All right, I've got 2 more till I hit 7. All right, then you can release it out of that. Now we're gonna do the flies. So you might wanna grab a little wider, and same thing. We're just gonna kind of pull apart here. About 5 to 7 again. I know this is a lot of shoulders, so if you need to shake your arms out, feel free to. One of my morning people tried to do it inside or outside. Halfway through, she kind of moves in because it was so hot out. So I'm glad to see everyone staying nice and cool indoors. All right, our last one. You can do this with or without the band. It's kind of like the clock stretch, but just kind of making it a little different if we're using the band. I know you can't see it, but I've got it overhead, and I'm just gonna kind of lean side to side. If you don't want to use the band, you can, once again, just kind of do that clock stretch. And you can do it without a band as well. The band will just make it slightly more intense. So whatever works for you. I'll show it with the band here. Do it for about 10 more seconds. So just kind of go side to side. One side might be a little tighter than the other, so maybe try and stretch it a little bit more. Of course, we've got more core movements up today, so hope everyone's ready for them. All right, you can release out of that. We are done with the band, so you can throw that at the side, throw it at your significant out there. I won't be able to see. We're good. Next is, I'm going to move my camera down a little. Hopefully my dog stays sleeping on the couch here. I'm going to encourage you to walk if you can. We're going to do the heel to toe walk to get the ankle warmed up. So even like here with me on the screen, my heel's coming down, coming up to my toes. Within the screen, I can get about 3 steps in. It's just better to do these back and forth and in place. If you want to make it a little more intense, you can add kind of a hop in as you come up, but whatever works for you. We'll just from here do it for about 10 more seconds since we don't have a specified length. All right, and 3, 2, 1. Now that we stretch out our ankles and our calves a little, we're gonna stretch them out a little bit more and do some ankle circles. If you need to sit, I've got my couch. We got our couch downstairs now. You can kind of do them in place. Otherwise, I would recommend to work on balance standing and kind of working on it. Give me about 5 each way on each leg, each ankle. Remember, we're trying to get that full range of motion. It's good to do these by a wall if you need to like put your hand on the wall for balance. All right, I'll come up a little. All right, this one, hopefully we can do it at home. I know we've done it in the clinic. We've been doing kind of sweeps to stretch out our hamstrings. So you can do those, or we're gonna try some Tin Mans today. Frankenstein, some people call them toy soldiers. Apparently I like Wizard of Oz, I call them Tin Mans. So your arm's gonna come out and you're just gonna kind of kick up. Big thing here is you don't wanna kick, definitely don't kick higher than your arm straight out. But even here might be a stretch for you. So just do whatever is comfortable. I find it easier to kind of walk through these. So if you wanna like maybe go side to side again. They're just a little weird doing them in place. If that's too much, remember you can just kind of do some sweeps while we do this. We'll do it for about 10 more seconds again. All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Can release out of that. So we just warmed up our hamstrings a little back here. Now we're gonna do good old quads. We're gonna just do some pulsing lunges so you guys don't have to walk through them. Remember, the safest way if you have knee issues is to stand here, step back. You can also go like this and step forward, whatever's more comfortable for you. So what we'll do is we'll stand, step forward or back, whatever you're doing, and give me 5 pulsing lunges. So I think we did these in the first workout I did 2 weeks ago. Make sure you're standing and up all the way, so you're kind of just squeezing your bum here. And remember, whatever depth is comfortable for you, just 5 on each side. Once you've done 5, switch to the other side. Same thing. You do not have to touch the ground again. Hopefully you can kind of feel it in your quads here, especially on that 5th rep, which that was 4 for me, and 5. All right. Then we'll do those 2 movements one more time. Got a lot of legs today as well as arms, so trying to warm them all up. So those Tin Mans again. Remember, it might be easier to walk if you can. I know we don't have too much room, so I kind of do a few, take a step back, at least so you guys can see me on the camera. I know I'm headless right now, but you know, that's okay. About 10 more seconds. In 5, 3, 2, 1. You guys really saw that. Now one more time, 5 pulses on each leg. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna step back, taking my right leg back, nice stance position or lunge position, and then just 5 nice pulses to warm up. For me, that's 4 and 5. All right, then I'm switching to my left leg now if you're kind of following my pace. 2 3, 4, and 5. All right, how are you guys feeling? Decently warmed up? Jumping jacks, yes, no? Wow, they say yes. All right, let's go. I like it. All right, so let's just do some jumping jacks. Make sure you're not gonna hit anything around you. You can do the half jacks, so I know it's only the top half of my body. Or you can go full jumping jacks. You guys know me, I'll get out of breath, so I'm just gonna stick with half jacks. We'll do it for about 15 more seconds. This will definitely get your heart rate up if it wasn't up before. All right, we got about 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1. You guys survived. All right, now that I got your heart rate up, I'm gonna get it up a little more. Grab some water if you need. It's really hot out. I'm sure you guys have heard this your whole life, but make sure you're drinking extra water, especially if you're doing yard work outside. It's like 90s. I think technically high 80s the rest of the week. So make sure you stay nice and hydrated. Try to drink a little extra than you normally drink as well, especially when you're showing up to the exercise clinic every day. So I'm just gonna hound you guys all summer. Be ready for it. All right, so the first one we're gonna do, I'm gonna move my camera down. I'm gonna cut my head out again. It's gonna be more of a compound movement. So once again, just like all my other weeks, I'm gonna kind of demo the movement for you guys, give you some cues, some do's and don'ts for them. Then I'll go on to the next movement, and then if there's 3, I'll do all 3. Then I'll go through them slowly again, so that we know what we're doing right before we start. And then we'll do the mini circuit I have planned. As always, if you have any questions, thumbs up, thumbs down, wave your arms, talk in the chat. Let me know. Otherwise, I'll start with this first movement. It's gonna really work your brains. Not too bad though. What it's gonna be is we do that side stretch sometimes where we just go like this. It's gonna be that with a row and a band. So I know you can't perfectly see my feet here, but what I'm doing is I'm just tucking it under my feet so it's safe. You can do it with both. I'm just gonna do one. That's gonna be easier. Using both will be more resistance. And if you need more or less resistance, once again, start in the middle, see how you feel. If it's too hard, have it be longer. Too easy, have it be shorter. What we're gonna do, just to start the movement, it's just a side lunge. So as you can see, that right leg, the one the band has, is just going down. That's the first part of the movement. Nothing too crazy. I have short legs, so this isn't too much here. If you have long legs, you might feel some resistance, so alter it as needed. What we're gonna add in though, compound movement, is lunge into a cross body row. So it's lunge, row. As you're kind of testing this out, this is where you might need to change that resistance. Kind of just remember where you are. What we're gonna do is 5 on each side. So we probably just did about 10 on this side. We're just gonna switch to the other side and do 5, oh, if I can get it, 5 more. So same thing, the band that has it, we're gonna lunge down, and then we're gonna add in that cross body row. Super important here, make sure your back is rounding. So as I'm lunging, if I'm going this way, I'm not coming down like this, coming down and pulling that band up. Nice flat back. Remember, we're at a dinner table, good shoulders, good posture. That's what we're looking for. So that'll be that first movement. Maybe a little more brain heavy, but I'm just trying to help you guys have the best life you can here. We'll do that for 10 reps and then just 10 nice air squats or body weight squats. So you can kind of put the band on the ground, you can keep it under your foot and kind of just hold it, whatever works for you, but just 10 nice squats after it. As always, I'll keep a nice, like, decently moderate pace. If you want a little more high intensity, do a few more reps, but faster. Lower intensity, maybe do a few less reps and slower. So we'll start 5 on each side. Remember, make sure your legs are wide enough as well, but not too wide. Lunge, row, that's 1 rep. And then after we do that 5 times, we'll switch to the other side. Takes just a few seconds to switch. Make sure it's secured so you're not gonna hit yourself in the face. Lunge, row on the opposite side. We'll do that 5 times. And then you can kind of just drop it, get a good squat stance, which is shoulder width your feet are. And we'll just do some nice 10 air squats. All right, everyone ready? All right, I'm working your brains with this one, so bear with me. I'm gonna always start with my right leg. I think it's mirroring me, I'm not sure though. This is my right leg, I've got it under. I'm just gonna use one side of the band because I'm super weak all the time. I'll do that lunge into row. So if everyone wants to get it ready, I'll give it about 10 seconds just to make sure everyone's ready. So about 5 seconds we'll start. Remember 5 on each leg. In 3, 2, 1, we can start. So we lunge, row, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You might have to take a quick second, just get it under the other foot. Again, make sure it's secure so you're not going to hit yourself. And then 5 of those. There's 1 for me, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you can just drop that weight, band, and just do 10 nice body weight squats. Remember, whatever depth is safe for you here. We're trying to get those knees going out. They're not coming in like this. That's not a very safe movement. All right, I've got 4 more if you're following my pace. 2 more. And the last one. All right. Not too bad, right? Pretty leg heavy. So shake out those legs if you need. Grab some water. Remember, it's nice and hot out. We'll once again take about 30 to 45 seconds between these. We'll only do this one twice through since it's a little more complex. But the other ones we'll do 3 times through, time permitting as always. Don't you wish you could be my dog right now, just sleeping as I'm talking? Maybe I'll let her run the next one. All right, if you guys want to get set up, we can start in about 10 seconds unless anyone needs any longer. If that was too easy, remember, maybe try and make this a little tighter, make it a little harder for you. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. We're lunging down to a nice crossbody row. And there's 2, lunge, pull is 3, lunge, 4, lunge, 5. Then switch into the other side, 5 on each side. Remember, try and make it a little harder if you can. Lunge, pull is 1, making sure everyone's caught up. Okay. 2, lunge, 3, lunge, 4, lunge, 5. All right, then you can just throw that on the ground. Give me 10 nice squats. Remember, a few more if you want high intensity, a few less if you want to go a little lower. You're going my pace, I'm on 5, 6, keeping that chest nice and high, remember, 7, that's why my arms are awkwardly coming out. Got 2 more, there's 9, and 10. All righty, everyone survive it? All right, we are flying through. We'll just keep that one at 2, actually. I know it's a little more intense. Our next one is actually more high intensity. It does leave an option to be low intensity though. Definitely grab some water before this one if you need it. This one's gonna be 3 movements. The first one is gonna be time-based. So it's just however many you wanna do in 30 seconds. It's gonna be, once again, this is for the people who wanna go high intensity. A few people have been telling me that they like having the high intensity option. So that's why I keep going like moderate, high, and low intensity and giving those options. I'm gonna turn it at my feet for this one. This is the one where the 9 a.m. session, they kind of lost me. So I'm gonna kind of turn the camera here to demo this movement. I think I went too far away and it messed up my computer and my Zoom. So let me know through this if we have any issues. This one, you just need your dumbbells. I'd recommend 2, but for the first movement, you only need 1. What it is taps, is what I'm calling them. You're just coming up and tapping. This would be kind of a low intensity. I'm just kind of cruising through it. If you want to go high intensity, you'll go a little bit faster. You can kind of add a hopping, well, not full hop yet, but kind of like, I'm like hopping through it, just kind of bouncing. Or full high intensity. As you can see, I'm kind of only on 1 foot at a time. For me, I'm just gonna keep this nice little moderate intensity pace. That is gonna be 30 seconds of fun. So I won't really be able to tell what you're doing, maybe based on how fast your head's moving. So it's completely up to you. It's just gonna be 30 seconds. I'll let you guys know when we're halfway, 10 seconds left and 5 seconds left, unless I'm giving cues or something. But remember, I'll just keep that nice pace. I'm not gonna count them off because it's just gonna be for 30 seconds. After that, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have it just on my head for this one, so I don't have to go too far away. You guys will see me kind of bouncing like this when we do the taps, our shrugs, and high pulls. So then you can do this with one. Let me change my camera just a little. You can kind of shrug, but the high pull is weird because your hands are nice and close, especially if you have one of those smaller dumbbells. So I would recommend having 2 of them, doing shrugs and high pulls. So we'll do 30 seconds of taps, 10 shrugs. Your elbows are locked out here. Don't try to like force them to be locked out. Just let the weight kind of pull it so your elbows aren't bent. So you're not shrugging like this. My elbows are just bent. I'm just kind of letting my hands run up my sides here. High pulls, what I want to see is we actually technically should shrug a little when we do them, but we're coming, my elbows are high and outside. So I'm not kind of like T-Rexing this. This is really bad. I can feel it in my elbows and my wrists. I probably look super awkward. We do not want to do that. We just want those elbows high and outside. And I'm pretty flexible, so I can kind of go way up here. You may not do that, especially if you have a pre-existing injury or anything like that. Even if you go here, we're getting a nice pull in. These are pretty strict, so they're a lot harder than they look. My biceps are yelling at me right now. So make sure you're using an appropriate weight. If you want to make it as high intensity as possible, it'd be 30-second taps. You can jump if you want, or just tap. And then you could actually do a shrug, high pull, shrug, high pull. So you technically do 20 reps in a row. For me, in the video, I'm just going to show it as 30 seconds taps, 10 shrugs, 10 high pulls. I'll kind of talk through it. I'll let you guys kind of know my pace. I know you guys can see me, but let me know if you have any issues. Other than that, everyone ready to go? There it is. Everyone's going to be super high intensity jumping, right? Yeah, no, okay, I didn't think so. And then if you have, you can also make that a little higher. So I know, especially if you have the 2 or 3 pound dumbbells, they're like just a few inches tall. If you have like maybe a book or a pillow or cushion that's taller, you can aim for that as well. Because if I'm bringing my knees up higher, it's going to be more intense. But for now, I mean, the dumbbell's fine. Maybe if we do it in the future, you can try and push yourself to get a higher one here. Now that I put that fun tidbit out, is everyone ready? Anyone need to grab anything? All right, so make sure you have that second dumbbell available. If you are doing the 2-arm, which I would definitely recommend, it'll be a little safer. Otherwise, we'll give it about 10 seconds and we'll start. So it's gonna be 30 seconds of those taps as high or low intensity as you want. So 5 seconds, in 3, 2, 1, you guys can begin. Remember, I'm just bringing my foot up and I'm just tapping my dumbbell that's sitting here. High intensity, maybe go a little faster, or just keep a nice pace. We're going to do this 3 times through, so maybe start slow and then slowly build up to a higher intensity every time. We've got about 10 seconds left. All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Can release out of that. Grab those 2 dumbbells. Now remember, I'm just going to do 10 shrugs and 10 high pulls. I'm going to begin. If you want to make a high intensity, do a shrug and then a high pull. So it'd be 20 reps in a row. But for me, just keeping this, I'm on 4, 5, so I'm halfway through, 10 total. That's 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm gonna do the high pulls. I like to have a slightly wider stance for these, at least in my shrugs. Remember, these are pretty strict, so maybe try and push through them. You might have to take a quick break in the middle, shake out your arms and go. That is perfectly fine. That was 5 for me. I think it might have been 6. We'll say it's 5. This is 8. Got 2 more. 9 and 10. All right, wasn't too bad, right? All right, everyone's elbows looked fine. I know as we get tired at the end, we kind of try to like let them go down, turn into a T-Rex. Really try and fight it. Keep those elbows high and outside. All right, grab a quick drink of water if you need. Otherwise, we'll do that again. Remember, I push you if you like high intensity or maybe want a little higher. Maybe try and do those taps a little bit faster. Otherwise, nice pace. We'll give it about 15 seconds actually. Let you guys get a little longer break here. All right, 10 seconds. Start with 30 seconds of taps. In 3, 2, 1, can begin. Remember, find a nice pace. Maybe the first 15 seconds you're slower, and then you increase the last 15, or you can flip it as well. All right, we are halfway. Remember, try to keep that nice pace you've got going. 10 seconds left. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Release out of that. Grab both of those dumbbells. Remember, nice form here. I'll do them from the side this time so you can see. We're just doing shrugs to start. My elbows are locked out, just letting the weight pull them down. I'm bringing my shoulders, trying to get them up to my ears essentially, and make sure you're letting them relax at the bottom so you're not kind of tense the whole time. This is number 9 and number 10. I did those shrugs a little faster if you're watching me, so maybe I pushed you guys that time. Now those high pulls, elbows high and outside, remember. Once again, I've got a flat back here. I'm not like extending or anything, that's bad. I've got 4 more if you're following my pace. 2 more. And then that last one. All right, shoulders might be burning a little. That's good, right? All right, one more time through. Grab some water. Remember, take some nice deep breaths if your heart rate is getting up. It's on that nice exhale that lowers our heart rate, which is why deep breaths are more important than hyperventilating here. So just, I know it might be hard if your heart rate is up, but really trying to get that. Got about 15 seconds and we'll start this last one. Like I said, last one, all you got, right? High intensity as possible. Now, maybe try and make it a little faster if you can. We're actually gonna get started in 10 seconds from now, because you guys know I'm bad at math, so making sure I got the right number. All right, and in 5 seconds, 30 seconds of taps, and 3, 2, 1, we'll begin. Remember, this is our last one. Make it your best one. Don't let that form deteriorate or anything. I know I'm going a little faster. I know you guys can't really follow my pace with this though. We are halfway through, only 15 more seconds. All right, we got 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. All right, last time. Now we got 10 shrugs and 10 high pulls. Remember, nice shoulder form, pulling it up. We're not hyperextended, but our shoulders are back in a great position. That's 4 for me. 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You need to do a quick shakeout, especially that last one. Now those high pulls. Remember, we've got that good back here. Elbows are outside. Just think about your elbows being taller than your weights or your hands here. 5, 7, we've got 3 more. 8, 9, and 10. All right, that is it for that one. Definitely shake out those shoulders. Traps might be a little tight after that. Maybe we'll do some neck stretches. I'll add those in our cool down. Next is where, like I said, I'm gonna include that wall. So I'm gonna turn my camera, don't get too dizzy. Again, I will show you if you can't do it on the wall, like maybe you don't have a nice wall space to do it on, you can do a tricep kickback instead. So what this is I did push-ups last week. It's kind of similar where the farther out your feet are, the harder it's gonna be. So the closer to the wall you are, the easier, versus if I'm going way out here, this is gonna work my core more, but more of my weight is gonna be on my arms, so it's gonna be harder. So I recommend maybe starting about a hand's distance from the wall or so, and then I kind of take a step back just for comfort for me, just a really small step back. What you're doing is, so a tricep extension overhead. Some people in the gym do it. I don't always like to recommend it because it's really easy to kind of hit your head here especially as you get bigger weights. We're gonna do that movement, but on the wall. Like I said, about a hand's distance away. I take a tiny step back just for comfort. I don't know if my body's weird, but that's what I do here. And what I'm doing is I'm just bending my elbows and coming up. I'm not necessarily trying to touch my head to the wall or anything. I'm just going until I kind of feel maybe some tension, and then I come up. If this is a harder movement for you, even just a slight elbow bend is gonna help you. So even just going like this and up, I mean, I'm going, I don't know my degrees, maybe like 10 degrees, but I can go all the way down here where I'm bringing my head much closer to the wall, and it'll be harder. If that's not a movement, maybe you don't have the best wrists, or maybe you worked them a lot this weekend, you can do tricep kickbacks, like I said. Remember, we did this, I know I did this the first week at least. You kind of hinge at the hips, your knees are bent a little, and then you're kicking that dumbbell back. We're gonna do 8 reps total. So if you're gonna be on the wall, you'll just do 8. If you're gonna be doing tricep kickbacks, you'll do 4 on each side. As always, a little lower intensity, or maybe this is a harder movement, bring the reps down to maybe 6. If it's really easy and you wanna make it harder, step those feet back, or maybe go up to 10 reps instead of 8. After we do that, you'll grab both your dumbbells, just to get more arms in today. I told you lots of arms. We're gonna do shoulder press. So we'll press up and down. If after the tricep extension is a little much, just get some nice active recovery and you don't even need weights here. This one, it definitely was, like I said, shoulder heavy when I did it this morning. So maybe if you have a lighter set of weights around, I know we don't have a ton of equipment, feel free to do that. Or just nice intensity. Someone had bottles of beer. I don't know if they drank them before or after or during, but that's just kind of what they used as a lighter weight this morning. With that in mind, 8 tricep extension, whether on the wall or the tricep kickbacks, and then 8 shoulder press. Make sense to everyone? Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and get started. If you are doing them on the wall, make sure you have your dumbbells. Mine are right here, readily accessible, so you can quickly pick them up and go into those press. I'm on my knees right now so that you guys can see me for the camera. Definitely do them standing if you can, but as always, if shoulder press is something you struggle with, you can sit and do shoulder press. I definitely recommend sitting versus on your knees like I am now. All right, as some people are moving their cameras, we'll get started in 10 to 15 seconds. No rush here. All right, I'm gonna do them on the wall. If I see everyone doing tricep kickbacks, which it looks like everyone's gonna use the wall, I'll join you in tricep kickbacks. But to start, I'll start on the wall. All right, everyone looks ready. So we'll give it about 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, we'll begin. I'll just kind of count mine off. So I go down and up is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're doing 8, remember? 6, 7, and 8. All right, then I'm just gonna shake out my arms a little. Grab those good old dumbbells. We're doing 8 shoulder press. Remember, this might get a little spicy, so if you need to drop down the weight, feel free to. I have 10 pounds, and I wish I had my 5s out. A little more spicier than expected. I've got 2 more. That's 7, and there's 8. All right, that was a lot of shoulders, so shake it out if you need. It looks like most people did okay on the wall from what I could see, so I'll stick with that for now. Once again, I'm just kind of going down. When I extend my elbows, that's when I count. Again, if you need to even just do a slight bend, that's still gonna build a lot of strength. Don't try to get your head on the wall or anything. My head doesn't even touch the wall when I do these. All right, we'll give it about 15 seconds from now. We've done a lot of shoulders already. All right, in about 8 seconds. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Put those hands on the wall. 10 tricep extension here. There's 1 for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Shake out those arms in between if you need. Grab those good old dumbbells, or no weight if needed, and then 10 nice shoulder press. All right, I'm at 4, so I'm halfway through. 6, 7, and 8. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? There it is. Now, shake out those arms if you need. We'll do that one more time through, then I'm done harassing your arms for the day, I promise. All right, grab some water if you need. Like I said, I'm gonna be a nice broken record all summer as I'm repeating that to you guys. Most people usually grab some after I say it, so you know it's working. All right, we'll go about 15 seconds from now. All right, about 5 seconds, we'll begin. It's our last one. In 3, 2, 1. Beginning with those tricep extensions. We're going down, up is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once you finish those, shake out your arms. It'll be our last shoulder press. 8 nice fun reps of them. At whatever pace you're preferring. Remember, I've just got a nice moderate pace going. There's 4, I'm halfway through. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, as everyone finishes up, not too bad. Felt it in your shoulders quite a bit, I'm sure. All right, I'm, like I said, forcing you guys to do some core here. I'm gonna move to the ground. If you have maybe like a blanket, if anyone does have a pad they can use on their back. Otherwise, I'm just using my nice, I'm sure very fancy carpet I have. All right, I've got 2 more movements today. So once again, I'll walk through them with you. Answer any questions if you guys have any. I've seen many of them be done in the gym, at least either by interns showed them or other people doing them as well. I'll give you guys a little bit longer, or a few more seconds to get situated here. Alrighty, it looks like everyone's on the ground. Usually people's heads just disappear, so I just kind of hope you're on the ground. So this one will be on our back for both of them. The first one is called a dead bug. If you've done a bird dog, which is usually on your wrists and your knees, it's going to be the exact opposite. So what it is I'm kind of just laying here. I'm going to bring my legs up, kind of like that tabletop press movement we did, where I've got a 90-degree angle at my hips, 90-degree angle at my legs. My arms are just going to be straight up. They don't have to be specific, but don't have them like out here or anything. What you're going to do is your opposite arm and opposite leg are going to go out. So for me, it's going to be my right arm to start and my left leg. So what I'm going to do is they're going to go out and in. That would be 1 rep. Then if I do it on my other side, my left arm and my right leg going out and in. My leg's kind of extending and then my arm is just extended the whole time. That would be kind of the like moderate intensity version. A lower intensity would just, we're going to do 8, so 4 on each side. Would just be kind of like doing 1. Then if you need to like maybe rest, back up, do another 1, rest, and maybe do 2 to 3 reps per side rather than 4 reps per side. High intensity would be, we're going to work the abs a little bit more. Up, if I'm doing my right arm and left leg again, I'm going to go down. But when I come up, I'm going to crunch. So I kind of just crunch through it. I would recommend, I'm going to show just this. So I'm not going to crunch. I'm just going to go down and it'll be 1, down, 2. Harder would be alternating for each side. So it'd be down 1 and then down 2. Either way, it's going to work your motor control. Here's what I was kind of going for. So not only working our core, but we're making our brain be like, oh yeah, my arms go this way, my legs go this way. That's why alternating is going to be harder. You might mess up. when I was demoing. I messed up at the end. So it happens to the best of us. Like I said, I'm just gonna do 4 on one side and 4 on the other. I'll try to go at a slower pace. Realistically, the slower you go, the harder it might be, because you're kind of controlling it down more. So I try to find that sweet spot between too slow where it's really hard and then high intensity where it's kind of too fast for people. The other movement, once again, we're gonna have a few different versions to make it harder. You can use your band if you want, but that's gonna be the most high intensity version. What it is if you remember the McGill setup where we lifted just the top of our body, so our lower back stayed on the ground, we're gonna do that, but it's called a penguin. Very scientific name here. What it is the easiest version. I'm just gonna lift up my upper back just like a McGill sit-up, and then I'm gonna kind of waddle like a penguin. So I'm touching my thigh here, then my other hand, I know you can't see it, but I'm touching my thigh. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be each side is a rep. To make it harder, you'll lift up your legs as well, and you'd be surprised at exactly how much harder this is. I'm sure my voice sounds strained right now. A lot harder is a big step there. Hardest, which I know everyone's gonna do, is you're gonna have this band and you're gonna hold it overhead and you're gonna do it. So it's just like last week when we did this Supermans. Doing a Superman like this is a lot harder than having your hands down here because your body's gonna be elongated. So same thing with the penguin. If my hands are down here, it's gonna be easier versus holding a band up here and rotating side to side. I'll let you guys choose whatever you wanna do. I'm just gonna do this one. And I'll lift my legs so I know to go slower. But if you don't need to, just keep your legs on the ground and each time you touch your thigh is a rep. It's gonna be 8 of each. So 8 bird dogs will be in the air. I'll be down 1, down 2. At 4, I'll switch to the other side. Then we'll straighten our legs. Do whatever version of penguin you want, and it'll just be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on to 8. Everyone ready? I just see hands fly up. All right. There we go. Wave them like you don't care. We're at a concert now, right? I can't sing. I won't sing for you guys. All right. So if everyone wants to be flat on their ground, we're going to start with that bird dog. So I'll kind of count us down, 3, 2, 1, legs up, and then we'll do them, and so on. So I see people have legs in their air, so I'll go fast. So 3, 2, 1, get your legs up. Remember, approximately 90 degrees. Arms are up, and then we'll begin. So down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. Now the other side. Down 5, down 6, down 7, down 8. After that, you can straighten those legs out. We're gonna do whatever version of penguin that you want. So if you wanna get in your position, and then I'll begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, not too bad. I would encourage you, like I said, it is a very big step between legs on the ground versus legs up. Legs not on the ground is a little easy, so maybe try and push it. Maybe do 4 with your legs up, 4 with your legs down. Otherwise, you can relax for another 10-ish seconds, and we'll get started again. I better check the time. Oh, we're good. All right, if everyone's ready, we will start that second set in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, bring your legs up, and then bring your arms up, and we'll begin. So it'll be 1, down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4, switching to the other side, down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. That was 8 total. We'll get in our good old penguin position. And then we'll raise up and begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We survived it. All right, last one. Remember, we've got some rest here, don't worry. I'd push you to maybe do a little bit harder. If the bird dogs are pretty easy, maybe try and add that crunch in. Or you can kind of alternate sides. I'll count to 8 this time. I think I did 4 and 4 last time, in case anyone is alternating. Penguin, maybe try and make it a little harder. That one goes by a little bit faster, so sometimes it's easier to increase that pace. Otherwise, 10 seconds. We'll do our last set, and then we'll do the cool down. All right, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Bring those legs and arms up. All right, and we'll begin. So down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. Switching to the other side if you're doing it this way. Down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. I did 4 again, but that's okay. All right, now the penguin. Get in your preferred position. Lift up your legs if you want in your torso, and we'll begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, everyone's gonna have like rock hard abs after the summer. That's what I'm here for. All right, we'll begin that cool down. We are gonna stand. So slowly work your way up. Not too bad, right? Everyone survived. Grab some water if you need. We've got plenty of time to finish up the cool down, so no rush here. This class is usually smaller, so we usually have a little extra time. All right. If everyone's ready, we'll begin that cool down. Since we did a little more high intensity movements today, we're actually gonna do some nice breathing stretches. So as always, we'll kind of bring our hands together. We'll breathe in as we bring them up overhead. You can hold for a second if you want, and then you'll breathe out as you go down. Do 3 more completely at your own pace. So I know you have neighbors, your significant other with you. Ignore them, just do whatever's good for you. We all have different respiratory rates, so your breathing might be different than theirs. I believe this should be everyone's last one. All right, once I see everyone's done, we'll move on. All right, then we did it in the warm up. We're gonna do it in the cool down, but more stretchy this time, that clock stretch. So it's kind of, I like to put my arm on the side. You don't have to. You'll bring one arm overhead and just lean. Remember, we're just trying to lengthen here. So kind of just relax through it. Since we are doing a cool down, we'll try to hold it rather than switching side to side. I like to kind of pulse through it, so I just kind of move a little. All right, release out of that. Switch to the other side. Remember with this movement, whatever elongates your side here. So don't necessarily try to reach down as far as you can. Just try and get a nice stretch going. All right, release out of that. And then we'll do each side for about 5 seconds. So go back to that first side. All right, release out of that. And then the second side, one more time. All right, release out of that. Now we're gonna do some chest and upper back stretch. So it's the one where we clasp our hands together. We're gonna do the upper back first. Then we're gonna push away. Remember, we're more so thinking about separating our back here. I know you can't really see it, but rather than pushing away, think about separating your shoulder blades. We won't hold this for too long since I know it's not super comfortable. Try and stretch out. Separate your back muscles. All right, release out of that. Shake out those arms if you need. Same thing, but now we're gonna do the chest. We can clasp our hands together and then just open up that chest. If you wanna make it more intense, you can look at the ceiling or just keep your head nice and neutral. All right, release out of that. This one's going to be a little bit of an experiment, so let me know how you guys feel about it. Big thing here is be very safe with it, so only go as low as you can. What it is I'm gonna show it from the side actually. I'm gonna think, of course it's not entirely possible, I'm gonna separate each vertebrae one at a time. So I'm gonna start with my neck and I'm just gonna kind of curl down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly bring my chin to my chest, and then I'm gonna slowly try to focus on opening my lower back or upper back, and then eventually my lower back, and just lengthening my spine each vertebrae one at a time. And then once you get as low as you want to go, don't push it here. Do the same thing but up. So try not to lengthen your neck until you get there. Just each vertebrae coming back together. And once that back is straightened, you can kind of roll your neck back up. And release. Did everyone survive that? Okay. That's a really good one. If you do have back pain, it kind of gets your whole back. I know a lot of focus on just lower back here. All right, now we are going to move back to the ground. Normal cool down fashion. Last time I'm going to make you guys move today. Does everyone have their bands near them? Maybe? All right, I saw Jones. All right, I think we're good with that. So we're gonna try and do when I do the clinic, let me cover that light. I do it with the black TheraBands, but we're gonna make it work with these today. Of course, be careful. It's gonna be a lot more easy for them to slip out on you. We're just gonna kind of put it, and we're gonna start with a calf stretch. So big thing here, I try not to pull back here because it's gonna be much easier for it to slingshot my face. I'm gonna put it around kind of underneath where the top balls of your feet are, and I'm gonna pull close and think about stretching my calf. So it does kind of bring my heel off the ground. I know my camera is just missing it. And just kind of pull through it. I know it's not the same as the black bands, but it's still a nice, decent stretch here. All right, you can release out of that. And then we'll switch to the other side, same thing. Get it looped if you have shoes on. I know it's hard, but kind of right underneath the balls of your feet. And like I said, I find it better if you kind of pull closer to your foot rather than way back here. Of course, pull wherever your flexibility allows is the big issue here. Big idea here. Remember, a nice calf stretch so our heel might come off the ground a little. Hopefully you can see my feet are different heights here. All right, you can release out of that. Do you guys feel comfortable trying to do some of the hamstring stretches where we go on our back with the band, or do you want to do them without the band? It looks like everyone's preparing for the band. Okay, so we'll do them with the band. So what we're gonna do, I recommend getting it in your band around your foot to start, and then kind of pulling your foot back as you lay down. And what we're gonna do is just start with a nice straight stretch. So I have my right leg overhead, my left leg is just flat lying out, and I'm pulling to where it's comfortable. Remember, some guys, or a lot of guys have less flexibility than females, so you might have a slight bend in your knee, that's okay. As long as you feel a nice stretch throughout your leg. All right, now we're gonna bring that leg towards our body, so towards our leg on the ground. Remember, using your band as kind of leverage. I'm just crossing my leg over my body. We won't hold this for too long. Try to keep both shoulder blades on the ground as well. All right, back up to the top. And now we're gonna go away from our body. So everyone on the camera is gonna see the nice bottom of my shoe. Once again, we're kind of using that band as leverage. We can pull tighter or less. All right, back up to the middle. And you can release out of that. And we're gonna do the same sequence on the other leg. If you have to kind of sit up to get it on your shoe, if flexibility or on your foot, if flexibility doesn't allow, All right, once you have it, if you want to lay back, looks like most people have it from what I can see. And we'll start with just our leg in the air. So now my left leg is up and my right leg is just kind of relaxed straight out from my body. Your legs might have different flexibilities. So like for me, this leg I can feel is a lot tighter. I can't go up as high. That is no problem at all. That is normal in the human body, I'll say. All right, now we're gonna cross over our body. So my leg in the air is crossing over the one on the ground. Remember, try and keep both shoulder blades on the ground here. All right, then back up to the middle, and now we'll go away from our body. Remember, still, this one's easier, but keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. All right, then back up to the middle, and you can release out of that. See the time. All right. So next one, you can just put that off to the side for now. Stay on your back. I know I lifted up, other people might have. We're gonna stretch out our lower back a little. So once you have your band out of your way, you're not gonna hit it. We're gonna do the one where my back is flat on the ground. My legs, I'm gonna have them turn to the left. So my legs are bent right now, my feet are flat. I'm just gonna turn my legs. It's okay if they don't hit the ground if flexibility doesn't allow. So once my legs are to the left side of my body, my head is gonna look over my right shoulder. With a stretch, don't necessarily be trying to stretch, just be trying to relax through it. Don't be trying to like get your knees to touch the ground. Just let them fall where they will. Take a few deep breaths, maybe close your eyes and just relax through it. All right, and if you want to meet back up at the middle, so my knees are facing up, my head is facing up, then I'm gonna do the opposite. So now my knees are gonna fall to the right side and my head is gonna look over my left shoulder. Again, remember, we're trying to relax through it, not necessarily stretch. All right, you can meet back up at the middle. Raise yourself up however you want. That is all I have for you today.